we could do a whole show around SEs, and
I think you could.
I think maybe we should. But it's still a technical role. It's very interesting. And it's hard, but that's awesome. So 6 months in, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we went to one customer meeting, and they're like, we've got to have Aaron Banks on the team.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it, what I've kind of have found is, especially from a sales and even an SE perspective, a lot of it is a personality. And kind of it's interesting to go back. I had no idea what being an SE was either. But the reason why I said son when I was talking about the interviewing is because that's what I was interviewing for, but I had no idea what it
Right.
was.
Okay.
And all that basically it said was you're going to go out with a sales rep and sell things. Now, coming out of college, I was like, I'm not comfortable doing that yet. Like, I, I did co-ops, but my co-ops
Right.
were like soldering, chips on a board, so I did not, have that experience of being in front of the customers and doing it. So I initially thought, well, listen, I'll do tech support first because then I can get comfortable talking with people, especially when they're angry at you. I'll never forget it was, this time 20 some years ago, and LL Bean's on the phone and they're having an outage. Now,
Oh
LL Bean does not
wow.
want an outage during the holiday season. Usually these retail companies shut down their IT from, November on so that they can deal with all of the online sales and everything. So that was pretty tough from LL Bean. So I really think that it helped me, have conversations with people, talk to people while you're troubleshooting, like random things like having like small talk, and just kind of creating a little bit of confidence in me to just talk with people, and especially during hard times. So going to be an SC afterwards where someone's yelling at you face to face and telling you that you suck, you're kind of like, yeah, I got this. You know what I mean? Like, I can do that. And they're not going to yell at me anymore. Like, I don't have to troubleshoot it. I could tell them to call like 1-800 Nortel, so it was great. Um, so I just thought it was like just perfect. And I was just like, why not? And what I have found as I've now grown in my career is that people will be like, hey, why don't you join my team or why don't you do that? I'm like, why not? Like, okay, like really got nothing to lose at this point. If you're going to pay me my salary, you have great benefits, right? You're giving me money so that I can retire down the road and things along those lines, then I'll take it. Like, I'll try it. And even like talk about not knowing anything. So when I came over to EMC, um, as you may or may not know, EMC had acquired a virtualization company and they had owned it, but I didn't know anything about it. And that's how like new into like IT I was, in the sense of like I wasn't even an expert in storage or the Documentum at the time or anything like that. I was just saying, yeah, I can learn it. I did network management at Bay Networks, and I did security, so I continued to do security, from the RSA side things into these EMC customers. But I just was like, I'll just try it out. So then once again, I'm at a customer, Lockheed Martin, and there's this new group called V Specialists that had started within EMC. And the goal was that if a customer was going to do virtualization, we wanted them to do it on EMC technology. No idea what virtualization was, but I was like, I'll apply for that job. Like, I'll try it. The irony of it is the guy who didn't hire me is now my boss, and still to this day, I was like, so you felt bad about not hiring me, right? You realize you were wrong. I did get hired on the team eventually because I think what people knew about me is that like I could be in front of a customer, I could have a conversation, I could respectfully be like, hey, I don't know the answer, but I'm going to get it for you. And I'll never forget
Right.
that was how I got hired into Bay Networks, because I was like, I don't know the answer to that. I didn't know networking at the time, but I said, I don't know it, but I'll find out.